Okay, so I just got the new M1 MacBook Pro and it is awesome. But there's a main complaint that everybody has in that you can't run Windows software using Boot Camp or an emulation system. But there might be another option that we can utilize so that we can use Windows software on the M1. And it's actually the same way that Apple's getting all of its x86 programs to translate onto ARM. You see, there's a program out there called Crossover for Mac. And basically what Crossover does is it translates the code for a Windows app so that a Mac can then understand and run the software. Now this has been around for a long time and it's actually built upon the open source software called Wine. With Wine, you can bottle software, load all the dependencies it needs into that bottle, and then it'll translate the software so that you can run it on your Mac. So you are now basically translating the software once to go from Windows to macOS, and then you're translating it again utilizing Rosetta 2 to bring it from macOS compatible to an ARM chip. So probably just like you, I was very skeptical in how well this could perform because it's being translated not once but twice. So the team behind Crossover actually put out a blog post showing them playing Steam games on the new M1. They actually got Team Fortress 2 and The Witcher 3 to run on this new M1 machine, and they were using the MacBook Air. So like any reasonable human out there, I downloaded Crossover and I wanted to see myself if we could actually get it working. And it actually works. It's pretty freaking sick, actually. So you guys can actually do this for yourself. You can test it out. I have some footage here of me playing both of these games on my M1, and this is just like absurd, I guess is the only way to describe it. Especially the Team Fortress 2, the ability, the fact that you can play that, you're translating that 3 times. I don't know exactly how this is working, but you're translating it from 32-bit to 64-bit, then from Windows to Mac, then from Mac to ARM. And it works, okay? It doesn't, it's obviously not perfect with 3 layers of translation, but the fact that you can play the game and like it doesn't crash, the frame rate is not very good at all. As you can see in this gameplay here, sometimes you actually do get 60 frames per second, which is bonkers. Most of the time you're sitting in the 20 to 30, and then once you get somebody shooting at you, it dips hard to the 5 to 10 range, which, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is just an experiment, more of a proof of concept that you can actually do this, and it's insane. However, possibly what is even more insane is the fact that The Witcher 3 runs and runs well. Now, if you're watching The Witcher 3 footage right now, I couldn't for the life of me get the frame rate to show. I don't know why, and I couldn't get any apps to work on the M1 to show the frickin' frame rate. So I tried so hard. But if you're watching the gameplay, like, it's pretty smooth. It is not bad at all. It is 100% playable. Sure, the resolution is not very high. I had it set to about 720p. You can go a little bit higher than that. There's gonna be a slight performance dip, but at 720p, I mean, this thing has virtually no hiccups. I mean, maybe occasionally there's a little frame dip, but I mean, it's gotta be at least 30 frames per second is from what I'm seeing most of the time. Which, The Witcher 3? What? Translated? Not once, twice. It is bonkers. It is just absolutely it's somebody in the comments, please explain this to me, please, because I don't get it how this is possible. But yeah, if you want to go test this out, you do have to be on the latest Big Sur 11.1 beta because there are some bug fixes to Rosetta 2 that are critical to allowing Crossover 20.0.2 to work in the translation. Crossover has a 14-day trial, and if you're interested in using it to play games, I would just make sure to look up what games are compatible, because not every game is compatible. I tried to play Doom from 2016 and that was unable to launch. But they do have a pretty good rating system in that you can look up whatever game you want to play, and it will usually either have a 4 stars or 5 stars saying, yep, it works fine, or it's like a 1 star, 2 star. You can download and install the game, but it won't run at all. But that's all I got for you. This is pretty absurd. If you thought this was cool, maybe drop a like on the video. If you thought it was stupid, you can give a thumbs down. That's okay too. Either way, thank you guys for watching. Peace.